wouldn't do this to you. Or would they?
Project 112 was a classified U.S. military testing program conducted by the Department of Defense from 1962 to 1973 to evaluate the vulnerability of military personnel, equipment, and ships to chemical and biological weapons. As part of these evaluations, the program utilized specialized dispersion equipment, such as spray tanks mounted on aircraft, shipboard turbine disseminators, and land-based generators, to release materials into the atmosphere. The tests involved a range of substances, including biological agents and simulants, microorganisms such as Bacillus globigii and Serratia marcescens, used to track how airborne particles disperse and spread across different environments.
Wow.
Chemical agents, actual chemical warfare agents, including nerve agents like sarin and VX, alongside various chemical simulants, tracers, and decontaminants. The primary objective of these trials was to study how these materials behaved under varying climatic conditions, terrain types, and marine environments, and to test the effectiveness of military detection systems and protective gear.
Okay. Let's talk about Operation Sea Spray.
Operation Sea Spray was a classified 1950 U.S. Navy biological warfare experiment in which ships off the coast of San Francisco sprayed bacterial aerosols, specifically Serratia marcescens and Bacillus globigii, into the air. The goal was to determine how vulnerable a coastal city and its population would be to an offshore biological attack by tracking how far and wide the wind carried the airborne particles across the Bay Area. At the time, military planners believed the chosen bacteria were harmless simulants, though the test later became a major historical controversy regarding public health, secrecy, and the ethics of open-air testing on civilian populations.
What was the fallout? Did people get sick and die?
During Operation Sea Spray, the U.S. Navy sprayed the bacterium Serratia marcescens over the San Francisco Bay Area under the assumption that it was a harmless simulant. The immediate and subsequent fallout involved several documented health
more than one
impacts,
fatality. That's
infections, and
bullshit.
hospitalizations. Shortly after the test, 11 patients at Stanford University Hospital in San Francisco developed rare and severe urinary tract infections and pneumonia-like symptoms. Fatalities. One of those patients, a 75-year-old man named Edward Nevin who was recovering from prostate surgery, died when the bacteria infected his heart valves.
Much worse.
Long-term legacy. The incident became the first recorded large-scale outbreak of Serratia marcescens infections in a civilian population.
Now, where did Lymes come
previously
from?
classified as harmless simulants could act as opportunistic pathogens, especially when introduced via aerosol inhalation to vulnerable or recovering individuals. Decades later, surviving family members filed lawsuits against the federal government, though the courts ultimately ruled in favor of the government, concluding that definitive causation could not be legally established.
Wow. They wouldn't do this too right.